Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I'm working a shift at CharismaHospital, and things got absolutely chaotic. Patients were coding back to back, and the waiting room kept filling up faster than we could keep up. Can we handle the pressure? Let's find out. I headed over to my first patient and claimed his case. Then, we made our way into the unit to find him a bed. Finding an empty room was harder than I expected. After a bit of searching, I finally found one. The first thing I did was open his file and check what he needed. He needed a hospital gown, some juice, and a carton of milk. You can find the gowns over here. And the milk and juice are in the supply room. Once I had everything, I headed back to his room and gave him what he needed. With his needs completed, it was time to look into his symptoms. He needed some treatment and a few assessments, including an auscultation. I decided to start with the auscultation. It showed that his airway was constricted, so he needed an inhaler. I left the room and headed to the med station to collect everything I needed. After that, I stopped by the supply room to pick up his inhaler and the rest of the items. Now let's head back to his room and get him treated. With his needs and treatment complete, it was finally time to diagnose him. After investigating further, I diagnosed him with chemical inhalation and discharged him from the hospital. With my first patient all finished, I grabbed some fresh linen and changed the bed sheets. Then I headed back to the waiting room to claim my second patient. Now this is where things took a slight turn. I claimed my second patient from the waiting room, and he was a severe level patient. We immediately headed over to the trauma unit to find him a bed. Once he was settled in, I opened his file and started fulfilling his needs. He needed a gown, a coffee, and some water. After collecting everything he needed, I headed back to his room and gave them to him. Just as I was about to start treating his symptoms, he suddenly started coding. I jumped into action and immediately began CPR. After a round of CPR, I rushed to the med station to collect the medication needed to stabilize him. I then had to administer some saline through the fluid stand. Thankfully, he stabilized and the code blue was over. I could finally start treating his symptoms. I carried out a blood test to investigate further. The results came back and he had severe anemia. I headed back to the med station to collect his medication. After that, I stopped by the supply room to grab the remaining equipment. Now let's head back to his room and administer everything. With his needs and symptoms taken care of, it was time to diagnose him. After further investigation, I diagnosed him with severe blood loss and admitted him to the hospital for further observation. Now that my second patient was complete, it was time to head back to the waiting room and claim my third patient, hoping for an easier case. I claimed my third patient from the waiting room, and once again, she was a severe level patient. We headed over to the trauma unit to find her a bed and begin treatment. Once we arrived, I opened her file and started fulfilling her needs. She needed a gown, some juice, a sandwich, and the lights turned off. After turning the lights off, I went to collect the rest of her items. Once I had everything she needed, I headed back to her room and gave them to her. Now that her needs were taken care of, it was time to investigate her symptoms. I started by taking a blood sample. Then I headed into the supply room to send the sample off. The results came back and she had anemia. I made my way to the med station to collect her medication. After that, I headed back into the supply room to grab the remaining equipment. Now let's head back to her room and administer everything. With her needs and treatment complete, it was time to diagnose the patient. After further investigation, I diagnosed her with hypovolemic shock and admitted her to the hospital for further observation. With my third and final patient taken care of, it was finally time to head home after a long day. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys!